Hey, Tony Gaskins here. I want to pop in and talk to you about this. And what I'm going to start doing is, because there's so much noise going on and because there's so many voices out there, I'm going to try to cut to the chase, cut through the noise, and do my best to help bridge the gap from a male perspective. One thing I need you to realize and understand is the single coaches that are saying married dating advice or married dating coaches, don't know what we're talking about. Those people work for Satan. Just to keep it all the way real with you, they work for Satan, and they only do relationship talks for money. If they're saying that, there are single people, I'm sure, who give relationship advice because they've turned their pain into purpose. But anybody that tells you that a married person cannot give you dating advice, that is a clear indication that they on the other side. 100%. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Do not pass go. Don't think twice. You ain't got to ask your mama. They 100% on the other side, because that is the dumbest thing in the world. It's kind of like saying an NBA player can't tell you how to be successful in college so that you can get to the NBA. Kind of like saying a homeowner can't tell you how to get prepared to buy your first home. You see what I'm saying? Like, that makes absolutely no sense in the world. So that's what you first got to realize and understand. The next thing I want you to realize is that it does not matter what anybody says online, on a podcast. The heart is the heart. Being that the heart is the heart, love and relationships are principle based. It's based on principles. So it doesn't matter how the world's morals and values change. There are things that will always stand. So let me give you an example. If so many women online are saying that they want a man who is financially stable, and they want a man who has this and has that, and it's materialistic, it's superficial, and all of those things, that can be going all over. But if a good woman meets a man who treats her like a queen and loves her the way a woman needs to be loved, I guarantee you, a good woman, not a Jezebel, not a woman that worships Satan with her body and with her actions, but a good woman, I guarantee you, she will throw all of this secular podcast talk out the window, and she will fall in love with this man who honors her and values her, loves her, and respects her. And what a lot of people don't understand is those qualities that I just mentioned, a man who is unmotivated, a man who has no ambition, a man who is lazy, a man who is a freeloader, he can't do those things, because those things do not coincide with being unmotivated and lazy and a freeloader. Because if you unmotivated, lazy, and a freeloader, you're not going to be able to fully love and cherish and honor and respect a woman, because those things take certain characteristics, certain attributes of a man. So that's what you got to realize and understand. At the same time, there could be so much secular talk about A man needs a woman who is a boss. You know, she gotta be 6-figure earner, 7-figure earner to bring something to the table. She gotta have a BBL, you know, like, or the body got to look like a BBL. She got to look exotic. She got to do this and that. If a real man meets a woman who can honor and respect him as a man that God has called and ordained to the priesthood of being a man, to that high calling of being a man, a real man of God, that man will not care where that woman lives. Like if she live with her parents, he will not care. He will not care about all of the debauchery on these secular podcasts. He will realize that this woman honors him, loves him, respects him. And I'm going to tell you something. That honestly was one of the key things that changed me as a man, that like helped me grow and change as a man, and helped me see my wife in a different light. Like, as tough as she is, as strong as she is, she still needs the leadership, the guidance of a man. And today, that has been made an evil thing. Like, it's so many women that I don't need a man, ain't no head of me, as if it's an evil thing. Like they taking it to be too literal. Like they taking it to mean that they have to be brainless and spineless, and that they're like a puppet. And that's not what it means. But we get so caught up. You have to remember, the devil is in the details. When people argue semantics, that's a clear sign that they working for the other side, meaning they working for evil forces and darkness. Because God is not the author of confusion. So you will see it in the comments on videos like this. You will see somebody make a point that is not a point. They will argue one word, and they will turn a molehill into a mountain because of one word. Like I say, the leadership of a man. See, that's the problem. A woman does not need a man to lead her. She can lead herself. But when you get to the root of that, the root is bitterness. The root is brokenness. The root is the anger towards her cheating, lying dog of an ex. So because he was not a leader, but he was a dominator, he was a dictator, she confuses pure, true leadership with dictatorship. See, she had a dictator, meaning all he was good for was putting hard wood on her. And then from there, he was not a man. Everything else was not a man. So then, when she hears and sees and meets a real man, she will villainize the word leader, not realizing that a leader is a servant. A leader is not a dictator. So right before this call, right before this video, I just text my wife. As the head of my household, as the leader of my household, I text my wife and I said, hey babe, I need to talk to you. for about 5 minutes. She said, okay. Called on a video call. I said, hey, how would you recommend that I handle this type of situation right here? How would you recommend that I handle this? And then she got in her bag. So this what you got to do with that. Do this, and then do this, say this. That's what a leader is. A leader is humble. See, a dictator don't ask anybody opinion because the dictator thinks that everybody is beneath him or her. But a leader understands, like the Bible says, there is wisdom in a multitude of counsel. A leader understands that. So the dictator doesn't understand that. But the leader is able to say, you know what? Let me talk to this person. Let me talk to this person. Because guess what? What I understand is what I do, it doesn't just affect me. It affects my wife. So what I do, I have to make sure that I am thinking about her. Because if I make a move, she have to deal with that. Now, the thing about also being a leader is a leader will point out blind spots. So a man who is a leader from God, he will say, okay, what do you say about this? And then if the woman says something and he could sense that where the angle she's coming from is from selfishness or from jealousy or from bitterness or from past hurt or whatever it may be, a leader does not just say, okay, cool, I'm gonna do that. See, a man who is a leader is not happy wife, happy life. He is obedient to God. And being obedient to God does not always mean what God instructs you to do, your wife is going to like. But a good woman will be able to see if her man is obedient to God, and she knows that the Bible instructs her to submit unto her husband as unto the Lord. And she also knows that the Bible instructs her husband to love her as Christ loves the church. So if her man is a man of God who has submitted and surrendered to the will and the way of God, she then knows she is safe to submit. If this man goes his own way, does his own thing, does not submit and surrender to his creator, now this woman knows that this man is led by ego and by ignorance and by arrogance and by self-righteousness. So now she cannot submit because he has not submitted. And so the one thing that will get every man of God today is a woman's respect. What I mean by that is a woman who can see God in a man and respect his call, respect his voice. And that's something like that I can attest to, because I come from being a man with no loyalty. As a young man, before I met my wife, I had no heart for a woman, no loyalty to a woman. The stuff you see on these podcasts, what a lot of men don't realize is the reason my message is what it is today is because I was way worse than in real life than the red pill podcast woman hater guys. Like, these guys today call me a simp, but what they don't realize is that the stuff that they doing today, it don't hold a candle to the way I moved in the streets as it relates to women. Like, I was ruthless in the sense of no loyalty, all lies, getting my way, doing what I wanted to do, having my way with women. The same way Apostle Paul was when he was Saul, the way he treated Christians, that's the way I treated women before my run-in on the road to Damascus with Jesus Christ. And that's why I am the complete opposite of the man I used to be. And that's why men get so upset, the men on the wrong path. That's why they get so upset with me and they so bothered with me, because they don't understand how I could be so neutral, meaning not taking the side of just men, and how I can see the pain of a woman and I can see the heart of a woman, and I care about the way a woman thinks and feels and what a woman needs. They don't understand that, because they're like, listen, you a man. We got the man law. We got the man code. We got the G code. Who cares about what a woman think, what a woman feel, what a woman need? You supposed to be talking about what a man need and everything that a woman need to do, and only what a woman need to do. You never supposed to hold us accountable and tell us what we need to do as men, because we the men. We supposed to get to do whatever we want to do, and a woman got to bend over backwards and do what we need her to do. And that's the angle they want me to take. But it's different when you was a shooter and a killer and a gangbanger for real, and you come to be a peacemaker. Then the fake thugs get mad with you and they call you a police and 12 and a op and a soft and you lame, because you trying to get red and blue to tie they rags together. And they're like, oh, you a lame, you a sucker, you a switch out, you a sellout. But the man that they talking to really got bodies, really lived it. So he got the right to have a change of heart the way he have a change of heart, because he really lived it. But the guys who faking and perpetrating, they got all of this loyalty to a certain color, to a certain street, to a certain hood, but it's really because they a perpetrator and they the real lame. They the real fake. And that's the same thing in this love and relationship space with men who have not grown to be real men. It's because of their hurt and their pain of being overlooked by women when they were seen as lame. But now that they grown and they got money, or they got some muscles, they got a job, they got something going, now they want to dog women out. And they want every man to understand how and why they dogging women out. But it's because of where they operating from. They still bitter and hurt from being cheated on by the woman that they wanted, but she didn't want him. But he chased her anyways, and she ended up using him and abusing him, and now he hurt, and every woman got to pay. But see, what I want women to understand is that if you get tricked by the enemy, and you get tricked into this fake feminist movement of rebellion against God by rebelling against men of God, meaning if you get tricked into thinking you don't need no man, you ain't got to respect the man, you ain't got to listen to your man, you do what you want to do because you make money and all of this, just because you know men, you know grown boys who do what they want to do because they make money. So now you say, oh, well, men do it. Men, that's what men do. Men, no, grown boys do that. My wife doesn't work. She don't have an outside job. She's starting a company, but she don't run no company yet. We next month, March 30th, March 8th, I turn 40 next month. I turn 40 on March 8th. Me and my wife celebrate 17 years of marriage. March 30th. My wife have not worked a job, I think, since the first year. Since within the first 3 years of our marriage, my wife have not worked a job. So I could take the stance of, oh, you don't make no money, ain't gotta listen to you. I'm the breadwinner. You don't make no money. I ain't gotta listen to you. I ain't gotta ask you nothing. But that's not what a man of God does. That's not what a real man does. So as a woman, you can't take and rebel against the word of God and against men of God because you see grown boys moving foul. And now you emulating grown boys. Just like when they say, act like a lady, think like a man. You not thinking like a man. If you call thinking like a man playing games, mind games, and cheating, and not being loyal, not being truthful, not being honest, not being faithful, if you call that thinking like a man, you are deceived. You're thinking like a grown boy who's spent on cucumbers. You're not thinking like a man, because a man don't move like that. And that's the only time you need to argue semantics, is when you differentiate between a real man and a grown boy, a real woman and a grown girl. And that's what you got to realize. But the thing that will melt a man in a woman's hand is respect. Respect does not mean being blind. Respect don't mean you don't share your thoughts, share your opinion. Respect means you don't disrespect. You don't belittle the man. You don't make fun of the man. You don't make the man look stupid in front of people. You don't intentionally try to hurt him with your words, with your actions. You don't demean him, degrade him, belittle him, undermine him. Respect means you submit to that man, meaning if he says, hey, I think we should do this, and you raise your concerns and you ask your questions, and he can thoroughly address your concerns and he can answer your questions, and you see he has a vision, and not only does he has a vision, he has a plan, and he is sound, secure, confident. If this is your man, your husband, meaning y'all gonna get married or y'all married, submitting to that man is saying, hey, I don't fully understand what you're saying, and I'm not sure I fully agree, but I see your character, I see your lifestyle, and I see who you living for, God. I see that you surrendered to God and you really live that. So I'm going to trust you on this. I'm going to trust you on this. And I'm also going to trust that if you realize you've made a mistake, that you're going to be man enough to admit that you made a mistake and to abort the mission. That's what submission is. Submission is not silencing your common sense, your wisdom, your knowledge, your understanding. You share those things respectfully, decently, directly, and then you hear what he got to say. Now, if he shut down, if he storm off, if he get angry because you asking questions, for one, you got to check your energy now. How you saying it? Are you coming disrespectful? Are you doing it in a belittling way? Are you trying to make him look stupid, feel stupid, or what have you? But if you say, well, what about this? Or what you think about this? And if you can express yourself, see, whoever shuts down, they don't got a point. If you can't articulate your stance, then you need to shut up. You're not supposed to be talking. If you can't stand on what you stand on, then you can't call no shot. If you can't articulate and express what you trying to say, what you believe, what you feel, you got to submit. Whether that's the woman to the man or the man to the woman. And these are the conversations that real couples have. But this is what happens. And so the thing that's missing today is, and what a lot of women don't realize is, a lot of women are acting like grown boys. And they think that because they got a degree or a master's degree or a PhD, they don't have to respect a man. They think that because they bought a house and they got their own money, their own house, their own car, they don't have to respect a man. And that will run a man off faster than anything. A man of God will put his trike shoes on and be out of there immediately. You hear me? And so this what has to be understood. This got to be understood. But hey, this Tony Gas, I got to go. One of my basketball teams about to get ready to play here. They might be about playing now. But God bless you. We gonna talk soon.